Hmm.
Yay, I hope you guys didn't hear what I said behind the scene. Oh my goodness, 4 people waiting on the camera already. Thank you guys for joining the Queen Amina show. I know you are super excited, just like I am. A platform where we laugh, we learn, we goof around, but we learn so much stuff from industry experts. And today it's a timely topic. So I hope you guys will share the broadcast to allow other people to, enjoy the great information our guest is going to share with us today. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I see all the people that are subscribing and clicking the bell button there. Thank you so much. That platform is growing. We have a target to hit 10,000 on Facebook, and we're almost at 6,000. Again, thank you guys so, so very much. Whatever you're doing out there, just clicking, liking, and following me, it's encouraging me to keep searching for great people like one of our guests today to bring your way. What other platform are you going to see the smallest human being that ever lived on earth? Queen Amina Show. Where are you going to find a 14 years old that is making waves, a millionaire at 14? All built by himself, not money from the parents on the Queen Amina Show. So today we're bringing you Yvonne Akpoveta. This is a lady that I've been always wanting to meet. We spoke on the phone. I see her all the time on social media, giving great nuggets to helping people. And I wanted to have her to myself for 1 hour. So today she said yes. So I'm super excited. Let me bring her up. I even already have her name there. Yay!
Hello.
Thank you so much. And I mean that not in a joking way, because I understand how busy you are. Thank you so much for coming on the show and spending this 1 hour with us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I mean, just
Awesome.
even chatting with you now, it's just so much energy.
I
I've
know.
forgotten that I was already awake at what time delivering training. So
Wow.
thanks for having me. Thanks. I'm
Thank
looking
you
forward to
so
today's
much.
show.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just a little bit about you, but I'll prefer you to tell the audience so that everybody thinks Queen exaggerates when she introduces her guests. No, it's the truth, I tell you guys. So it's always best to hear from the guest. But one of the things that stood out for me in your profile is you said there that you are passionate, you're genuinely, the word genuinely, passionate about change.
Mm.
A lot of people are terrified about change. So tell us about yourself, and that is the first question for you.
Oh,
I
God.
really want you to touch on that.
Oh, genuinely passionate about it. I think, the reason why I put genuinely passionate about it is the word passion is often overused, and rightly so, that some people may think, oh, there you go, passion, this word passion, I'm tired of passion. I actually read somewhere about people doing some recommendations on the resume and said, don't use the word passion because passion is so overused. And I really got gingered about it. I said, how can they say not to use the word passion? Passion is a real word. Passion is what drives you. It's what triggers you. It's what burns within you. It's what makes you go to bed at 2:30 at night, early in the morning, and wake up 5 a.m. just because you're so passionate about what it is you're doing. It's what gives you the spark, and they wake you up and you're like thinking, yes, you immediately light up and start talking about it. So I'm very passionate about change. I'm passionate about helping people be their best selves. I started off with helping entrepreneurs be their best selves, helping professionals be their best selves. But one thing I believe is whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a professional in the workplace, whatever it is you're doing that you find your hands to be doing, do it well. Even if you're at home and you feel that that is the best place you want to be as a homemaker. And I say homemaker because it could be female-wise or a male choosing to be at home. But wherever you choose and feel that this is my place and I want to be at home, just do it. That's my thought. So my background is as a change strategist. I help organizations lead and drive change. I help professionals, lead and drive change in their organizations. I help people to respond better and faster to today's changes, whether it be technology like AI and robotics, whether it be with this COVID situation or the uncertainties that we're currently facing. It's really about how can we be our best selves, and, be ahead of the curve.
How am I losing?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about me, what I do, and I do various things. I have authored a book. I do speaking. People invite me for speaking engagements. I just find different ways to share my passion. I run workshops. I do online courses. So wherever I find my hands to do and do it well, that's me.
Awesome. Like I started by saying, people are terrified about change today. Not just today, not just because of the COVID, just people are generally terrified about change. How do you think, before we get into the meat and potato of the day, let's prepare the ground. How do you think we can help ourselves prepare for not just post-COVID, but any kind of change that we face in life?
Mindset. That's the number one, mindset.
I love that.
Once you can get your mind thinking to a particular way, you've won half the battle. I say mindset, because I've gone through so many situations in my life that I just get up and I keep on going because of my mindset. Losing my dad at a young age, that was something that it was through my mindset that I was able to overcome. I remember coming out of university and my first job, proper job after you've come out of university, you're like thinking I'm ready to conquer the world, and I got made redundant. I lost my job. That was a big trigger for me when it came to my career. It made me realize that nothing in life is permanent. Situation in life is permanent. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to be willing to get up and you keep on going, no matter what news comes your way. So even if I find myself in a situation where I really don't know what to do, one thing I'm always confident about, my mindset is cream always rises to the top.
I'm writing that down.
Rise to the top. So things will always come to life. Things will always turn around. It may take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It may take a year for you to get that job it is you want, but you will get it. As long as you keep yourself focused on the goal, you will get it. So mindset is very, very important. And one of the things around mindset, because people might say mindset, so what does it mean? It's law of attraction. So before I became a big believer in mindset, I was already practicing a lot of principles. But one principle I want to really talk about, and I do speak about it in my book, is the law of attraction. What you focus your mind on is what you will attract into your life. If you keep on focusing on negativity, or I'm not going to get that job, or I'm not good enough, nobody wants to employ me, this, and that. When you go into that interview, you will not be able to attract the kind of energy and positivity to show that you are great for that job. Because you have already spoken to yourself and in your mind that you are not good enough for that job. Even getting an interview can be your mindset. I'll give you this example of even just an interview. I remember at one on this occasion, I was doing so many things, exploring, so I wasn't really in the mood to work. Let me put it that way. So, I would get interviews because I wasn't in the mindset of really wanting a job at that time. I may go for the interviews. Even if they give me the job, I have to say, sometimes I'll say it's too far. I don't like it. I wouldn't take the job. Or sometimes by the time the interviewer is even speaking to me, I'll be asking all kinds of questions and I won't be questioning because my mind was not on that job. The minute I made up my mind, when I saw one bill coming,
that's a good trigger all the time. Right?
I saw one bill coming, which said that in a few months, the amount of money that would needed to be paid. Then I thought about the vision board I'd put together, saying by so and so year I needed to achieve this. So by the time I put my vision board, those bills and that vision I had and what I was planning for was there before my vision board. But once I put my vision board together, I saw the amount that I needed to have, everything came together. Immediately I did it, something triggered in me. The first opportunity that came for a potential job, that they weren't even chasing me for the job, the way I went after that job with the agency, the way I went after that job when I went for the interview, the things I did differently, I got the job. Because guess what? My mind was in a different place.
Right.
So mindset is really, really key. People say, how can law of attraction work? It's just, it's how you position your mind to think, am I good enough for this? When you think you're good enough for it and you're the best person for it, you go into that interview and you sell yourself like, look, if you don't have me, you're missing out. When you think you're not good enough for it and you go into that interview, you're almost, the energy you're putting it out is almost like, please take me. I may not be good enough because, I don't even feel I'm good enough. But if you take me, I'll really be happy. Who are they going to take?
Wow. The person with a positive attitude, energy, you can feel it right away kind of person. Wow. So basically, you already lost the battle before you even got into the...
And you don't even know it because you're like thinking it's what's on my resume. It's what I'm saying. It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. It's how you're turning up and how you're projecting yourself.
So be positive, just like me all the time. Somebody said, why do you always smile? I said, because I have a reason to smile. Because I can smile. You see, nothing is wrong with me opening my teeth. So I better use it. I don't have to. If you show up on this show, I am pretty sure if you have seen my face, like,
I'll be like, this thing better do and be done with. Let me go.
I love to smile. I love to be happy. Anything around me that makes me sad, I quickly shy away from it. I'm a free spirit. Awesome. I love to be happy. The little I have, I'm content. And I just want that to be that way. So what you're saying, I can totally relate to it.
Awesome.
Completely, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope everyone watching learned something from that. Change your mindset, change your life. That simple. My lady boss is here, my producer, Lillian Emefele. Deborah, oh my goodness, where have you been? She is an amazing woman. I lost her for a while now. She's back. Welcome back and congratulations on your graduation there. Rosalind, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Please help us just share the broadcast so that other people on your platform can see. Godfrey, I see you. Comfort, my childhood friend, I see you. God bless you guys. Please, if you're on my watch party, if you have a question, go on the Queen Amina Show page. That's where I would see your questions and comments so I can show it to our guest on the banner. If you post something on the watch party, I may not see it. So please, guys, I really want you guys to interact, ask her questions. You are seeing her here for free. Take advantage of it. Trust me. I know the lady I'm talking to catch her. It took how many months? Like almost a year now, right?
I think so.
For me to get to you. So, guys, 1 year of hard work, 1 hour for you guys. Take advantage of it. Thank you so much. All right. So today we're going to be talking just in line with what you're already saying, preparing and responding to change in the new norm. What is a new norm? What does it look like?
A new norm is just basically a new way that we're going to be doing things. So depending on which country you are or where you are, we're already seeing changes. Like yesterday is no longer the same. It's no longer business as usual. Yes, we're going to see a few things go back to how it used to be, but by and large, so many things would have changed for how we operate. Even things to see, things like the future of work. So before the COVID situation, there was the talk, if anybody has heard, about the future of work. Future of work is just that as we go into the future with all of the advancing technology like artificial intelligence, robotics, we're going to start to change the way we work. We're going to start to change the way we interact with each other. The leadership style, where we work, when we work, things like that were true discussions that people were having. But there was that concern of how do we really introduce it? Because people are resistant to change. When you tell people you have to start interacting more with robots, when you tell people that you can no longer come into the office, or we're going to reduce your hours, or all of those things, people push back against it. So they were still trying to figure how are some of these things going to evolve? How are we even going to overcome regulations? Because there are some government regulations. You can't do this. People cannot work at home at this time. People cannot do this. All of those things existed, and people were like thinking, how do we overcome this? The new normal in the workplace has accelerated the future of work. Suddenly, we're all asked to work from home. Suddenly, there are some places that if you call into the call center, you actually you're interacting with artificial intelligence technology. You're interacting with robots, or what they call bots, automation. So all of those things that people were hesitant to bring into the workplace, they've now brought it in to the workplace. So the question is now, how do we start to adopt it? Some people may be feeling it, some people may not be feeling it. Some people may have lost their jobs, some people haven't yet lost their jobs. Now they're asking us to work from home, and many people are working from home. So many people don't even have jobs to work from home. So the skill set as well that you need is also changing. These days, there are organizations you will go to, or there are some countries whereby you don't need a lawyer. As long as you have artificial intelligence technology, you type in what it is that you're trying to do, and your cases, you can use that in the court. If you go to some countries like China, beggars on the street have on their phone scanning QR code, and you scan and you give them, so there's so many different ways where people are now operating. So the thing that took you how many years to go to law school, artificial intelligence has now just come and cut it very short. What does that mean for your career?
That's right.
So that's where this kind of skill sets that you need to operate in this new future of work is a little bit different. So COVID has accelerated it. Now you have to start to think of your career, your business. How do I operate? Look, how many people before would say, oh, I want to go into the grocery store. I want to feel my fruits. I want to see how the vegetables look. I don't
anymore.
Now you're like, please deliver. I'm going to be driving by.
Instacart, yeah.
So now online services have accelerated. So organizations that did not have an online presence pre-COVID, two things have happened to them. They've either gone out of business, or they are now have an online presence. And the people who sustained the whole situation, even though they didn't have an online presence, their business was so diverse that they could bring in money from one section to help. But if you see what's going around, Starbucks, which is very popular, they're closing down their stores in how many countries?
Yeah.
You can actually get Starbucks delivered to you at home. You don't have to go into a store. What does that mean for store locations? Many people are going to start working from home. What does that mean for office spaces? What does that mean for people who were administrative assistants working in offices, managing office buildings? Do they now become virtual assistants? So many things are changing, but the key is that we have to be cognizant. We have to be aware of what's going on around us so that we're better able to prepare and respond to those changes. So right now is the time of we need to be aware, and actually we've passed awareness stage. We need to start preparing ourselves to respond to these changes.
What are some of the things you think we can do to prepare ourselves? I know a lot has been said, educate yourself. More than the education, like what are some of the things for somebody like me, for me to prepare for this new norm, the tech world and all of these things, what are some of the things that I should be doing?
You know what? It's practice. So for everybody, it's a different thing, because people say educate yourself. Before you even educate yourself, you have to go to awareness stage to understand your own industry and what are the changes that you're seeing in your industry. So for someone like you, whereby you're in the event space, and I'm also in the event space because I do change leadership conferences, is to say, how is it evolving? Because now, where you would have charged somebody to come to your in-person events for at least the next 6 months to a year, you're not too sure what you're going to do yet.
Oh, yeah.
So what I love about what you've done is you quickly pivoted, and said, let me do this show that I'm doing. And you are doing it consistently online.
Yeah.
So you're already practicing. I'm sure the first time you wanted to do it, you're like, not too
Oh, yeah. Don't even go there.
You're like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do? So the first thing is start.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it can seem very intimidating when you've never done something before.
Yes,
so the
absolutely.
first thing is start. Then once you start, it starts to come along. And that's where the law of attraction comes in. You start doing it, you start learning more about it because you're in that mind space where you're doing. So what I would say to anybody is, whatever you find to do right in front of you, and the first step, before you take the first step, as you take the first step, the second step and the third steps becomes clearer.
It's easier.
So, yes, it gets easier. It gets clearer, and then your mind begins to light up with ideas to say, what can I do? So I would say change also your environment.
Wow, okay.
What I mean is about change your environment. If after you've done your research, you say, this is where the market is going, this is where things are going, where do you want to be? You want to be in the midst of those people who are discussing those things, who are aware of those things, who are knowledgeable about it. When we say change your environment, it doesn't mean change your location. It's about the people around you. Who are you surrounding yourself with? So who is on your social media feed? Social media is good. Facebook is good. On Instagram, I'm very, very careful. I curate who I follow. Because all I want to see are things that will inspire me and give me ideas and to where I'm going. I might see one celebrity that I really like and say, oh, let me see what they're up to. After a while, I unfollow them because I see I'm not getting any value from them. But I follow things in that industry. So if you see yourself saying, okay, I want to get into this industry of online events, you start to follow people that are doing those kind of things, because you have now moved your mindset and your environment into a place such as that. If you see, I want to get into artificial intelligence, but I don't know how this artificial intelligence will even help my career. I don't feel it has anything to do with it. Just first of all, start understanding what it means.
Wow.
Start doing some research. Google is your best friend. So,
yes.
For instance, if you're in the accounting field, you might think, how is this going to affect me? But it's going to affect you in a big way, because what artificial intelligence does is really look at data and look for patterns and look for behaviors. And what do you have in accounting? Data, patterns, being able to see all of them. So it's going to affect. So what you now need to do is just type in AI accounting on Google.
Wow.
And see what comes up. See what forums are available. See what pages are on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. Start following those people. As you follow them, your mind begins to become enlightened.
Wow. Thank you so much. I don't know if we have a question. If you have a question, please can you send in the question on the comment section? We are on live broadcast right now. Thank you. I know I say people to call in, but it cuts me off. So, guys, if anybody have question, put it on the comment section and I would pick it up from there. So just a quick recap for the people just coming on. Oh, Deborah said she follows you on Instagram for many years now. Wow. Thank you, Deborah. Oh, so you must have seen her broadcasted that she's going to be here. See, not catch you now. That's why you came to see me, right?
Thank you so much, Deborah. Appreciate it.
So just a quick recap. You said if you're interested in a particular industry, first you got to be aware of what is going on, the changes going on in that industry. And the next thing is start. When you start, the other face of it is going to begin to open up. Follow people in that same industry so that you learn from whatever they are posting on social media. And you got to evaluate change your environment, you said. An environment this time is not physical environment, location, but the environment of the industry you're looking at, change who you are following, who is in your circle. Let them be people that are in the same industry so you can be learning and moving forward. And I love when you say practice. Practice, practice, practice. You can't go wrong with practicing. Look at me. When I first started, I didn't even know how to set this thing up. I was looking, yesterday was like my funny day because I couldn't broadcast. So I said, let me just look back at, today is our 80th day, believe it or not.
Wow.
Straight shoot, 80 days.
Wow.
So I said, let me just look at, the beginning and yesterday. So I went to the very first day and I looked at that. I said, some part I spoke English upside down because of nerves. So I looked at it and I looked at yesterday. I can only say thank you, Jesus. That's all. Like, I just thank God that I started. And you're right. Immediately I saw the change, I flew on it right away because I knew it's never going to be the same. It's either you're ready to jump on the train or you'll be left behind. And my kind of spirit, I always want to be ahead. I never want to be left out. So thank God for you that, visionary like you to see all of these things. So let us help our new young adults in this industry because the world is shifting towards them. I was talking to a young 15 years old yesterday, and I said he was asking me a question, what I do with my children in this change, how are they adopting? And the mother was standing there, and I said to the mother, I said, one thing that I know that I'm very, very passionate about right now is how to train my children not to graduate and go get a job. Long gone are those days now. I'm teaching them the new way of, making money for themselves, becoming financially independent. I've registered them on different platforms, learning how to trade online and all of those stuff. So I'm teaching them, preparing them for the new norm in the financial industry. And a lot of youths are out there today confused because their focus has been go to classroom, 4 walls of the classroom, traditional learning style. The teacher would teach and you take notes and you write exam, you pass, then you graduate, then you get a job. But all of a sudden, the COVID-19 has come to shift everything around. In your introduction there, your profile, you said it has disrupted a lot of things, which is correct. How then do we help these new adults coming into this new world? Because it's a brand new world for them. They've never walked through this before. What are some of the advices you will have for them in terms of career path?
I've said this like 2 times, and I'll say it maybe the 3rd or the 4th time. I think the very first thing is whatever you find to do very well, and you don't know what will come out of it. I took this from somebody that I heard, and I will even translate it to how it even impacted me. Recently, they were asking somebody, now more than ever has given us the opportunity to explore and get to know who we are. What this COVID has done is almost as if it's put a pause on the world, and it's put a pause and said, life is not as we know it. Life is anything we make of it. You understand? So it's put a pause on things for us, and it's shown us that anything and everything is almost possible. Who would have thought that if you make masks these days,
wow.
Who would have thought mask? Or even if you look at Zoom, the Zoom that everybody is using,
I know. Before we're running away from it before
COVID, Zoom was there, but all of a sudden, nobody's talking about Skype. Nobody's talking about all of those things we used to use before, like Google Hangout. Now they're like, do you want to Zoom? So it's really about whatever you find your hands to do too, because you don't know what will come out of it. And that is what will differentiate you from the other people. So I'm a very big believer in, if you happen to find work in a corporate organization, do it. The reason why I say do it is you get training for free.
Wow.
Because sometimes it's one thing to learn to do it yourself, and it's another thing to be mentored by somebody who is already doing it. So that's the value of working in an organization. So if you get that, all the better, but don't wait for it. Also go and look for something, because once maybe recruitment starts more intensely, everybody is going to be on the same level playing field. What's going to differentiate you is going to be, what were you doing during this period? What experience do you have that you stand out? Did you go, were you volunteering? Were you building like some solutions or technology? How were you using your skills and developing yourselves? Because it's in that you are going to be able to stand out in an interview.
Wow.
And even during that interview, you're going to have something to talk about. Because they say, how do you best connect with anybody, whether in an interview or in anywhere? How do you stand as a change leader? It's about finding common ground. So when you expose yourself and your mind to different things, you learn a whole load of skills that you don't know how it's going to help you in the future. So I remember when I got out of university, before I got this, I always say my first real job, there was this other job that I found where it had nothing to do with what I'd studied in university. But I said, let me just do this job because I need a job. And it was in a different field. But I just said, let me do it because I need a job. By the time I got like maybe my third job out of university, so I finally did get my job out of university, but I remember I said I got made redundant. By the time I went for this interview for a job and they hired me, I mean, that was like mind-blowing salary, the first mind-blowing salary that I'd ever received in my life.
Wow.
What was the reason they were attracted to me? It was that very first job that I thought nothing of.
See, look at that.
That was why they hired me.
Wow.
Just because of that job that I thought was so little. You know, they said, do not despise the
days of small. Yes.
You might feel that something is not an opportunity. What am I going to do with it? But whatever you find to do it now. And you don't know how it's going to help you and help you to stand out. So I would just say,
do it well.
Yeah, just be open-minded. Be open-minded to explore what is out there, and don't restrict yourself to, I only want to be an entrepreneur. I only want to work within an organization. I only want to be employed. Open your mind to explore what's in front of you.
Wow. So do you think that with this new change right now, a lot of jobs will be opening up in the tech world more than other areas?
You know what? I have to say, yes, in a way, there are going to be more tech opportunities. But even with more tech opportunities, they're going to need more of the human touch as well. So we think, okay, yes, there are going to be tech opportunities to build things. But what's going to be, when we start to get even some of these technologies taking over some jobs and doing some jobs that were initially very human-based, you're going to find that some people are going to crave more the human touch. So I'll tell you a little bit about this technology that was developed. China is always a lot ahead when it comes to AI and all of those things. So this team developed a technology for, this guy thought, okay, I'm very worried about my mother, so I'm going to develop this technology that is going to be in the homes for older people, elderly people, where, you know, they have all these functionalities. If you press a button, it can you can order food, you can be about your drugs, you can call your daughter, you can call your son. So many things this technology could do. And then they decided to do a pilot and test it in different elderly people's homes. And there was also a button where you could call help desk support.
Oh my goodness.
So they found that while we were piloting this thing, they kept on calling help desk support. So they kept on saying, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with this, our solution? Why do people keep on calling support? They found that the reason why people kept on calling support was just because the older people just wanted people to talk to.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
Not because there was anything wrong with it, because people are still going to desire the human touch. So what you need to find is really, where is the market shifting right now? So you need to look at trends to see what's the trend, what kind of jobs are they advertising? Because just as we're saying, there are no jobs, there are jobs out there that they can't find people to fill.
That's true.
The skill set is not there. So it's really for people to just explore what's out there. What can I really do? What does this mean for me? How do I evolve as a person? And what really works for them.
That is so awesome. That brings me to the next question. With all of these changes, these technologies, you touched a little bit about it, but I would like to talk a little bit more to open it more to our audience. Is it more of a positive change that is coming, or what are some of the negatives? You just spoke about the human touch, but I think there's more. I want you to give us some more.
It's how you choose to look at it.
Okay, just like we were talking behind the scene. But I leave that for behind the scene.
It's how you choose to look at it. If you want to look at it as positive, you look at it positively. If you want to look at it in a negative way, you look at it. Unfortunately, a lot of people have looked at it in a negative way.
Yeah.
But you can't, why say so? As much as people are saying some of these technologies are taking away jobs, some of these technologies are saving lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have to look at it is what is the impact of it and how do you walk around it? No doubt, like, I say this, to me, like people might say, oh, you see, that's why people need to be with their parents, because technology cannot be there with your parents. But guess what? Even if the technology was not there supporting them, you are not going to be there anyway. So is it better to have at least something that in case of an emergency, they can reach out to somebody, as opposed, because you're not there anyway, because right now we're in a global space where everybody's traveling, people have immigrated. It's not like before where your parents grow older, you're in the same city, they live down the road, you go and see them. People are immigrating their different ways. So if you can find technology that will support them, by all means. And what technology is also doing is making certain things accessible for people. Because the more there's this technology, it means that it's not as expensive to provide solutions. It's not as expensive to produce some products. And once it's not that expensive, people have more accessibility to be able to use those products. So technology is increasing accessibility as well. So there's the advantage of technology. We just have to be very careful in terms of how we use it, when we use it, to help get the best benefit out of it. It's not a replace. It's not this technology is coming and it's replacing what we used to do. It's how can we use technology to complement what we do.
So what are some of the negative side effect of all of this that you would say? Apart from the human touch that we're losing slowly, what are other things that...
Okay, I'm trying to be very like, let me think.
I understand. Actually, before you even go there, let me show you something here. Just give me one quick minute. No, I can't do that. Again, I tell you guys, Queen is learning every single day. Yeah. I hope I can do this, but if not, I'll be able to show it to you guys next time. Let's see if I'm able to get it. I will. There. Okay. Let me set this there. So why I wanted to show you guys this is just from what you were saying. Technology has evolved so much so that Africa is not left behind. Someone sent this to me and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, where are we going? So just to add to what you were saying, let's take a look at this quickly here.
Hello, good morning. I am here to take your temperature.
They do 50% of the technical work. They take vitals like.
By the way, this is in Africa.
Messages that give us a feedback in terms of clinical judgments.
Meet Akazuba, Ikizere, and Gabo.
They even have
These
names.
are no ordinary healthcare workers. They report for duty at the Kanyinya COVID-19 treatment facility, a short distance from Rwanda's capital, Kigali. The African nation has deployed these robots in a bid to minimize contact between patients infected with the coronavirus and doctors and nurses.
They help us to decrease or reduce the risk of transmission from patients to staff. Let's say before we had them, we'd visit between 2 to 3 or 4 times a day per patient. And now at least we now up to 2 times a day. So that tells you how helpful they are and what impact they have made in terms of reducing the number of visits to the patient.
The sleek white robots with their big bright blue eyes carry out simple tasks like take temperatures, monitor patients, take readings of vitals, and deliver video messages and feedback between doctors and patients. Officials said the bots will be programmed to carry out additional tasks as well.
If you program them, they can take a tray to a patient with the products you want to bring to the patients, they can bring them. But for now, we are using them for those tasks.
The robots were donated by the United Nations Development Program. Rwanda already uses drones to deliver blood and enforce restrictions designed to slow the spread of the coronavirus. There are 2 more robots at the country's other COVID-19 treatment center, Yamata, in southeast Kigali.
Did you see that?
I did. So you see what I mean is that there's so many fantastic things you're doing, because before that, maybe those patients would have just died. So there would be nobody to support them. Or even like when you use drones. So drones are negative because like now people are misusing it. But their drones are also good because in the remote parts where nobody will take delivery there, you can use drones to go and deliver. You see, that's why I say everything has its positive and negative. People will always find a negative way to use technology, and some people will find a positive way to use technology. It's not really about what is good or bad about it. It's here to stay. So how do you make the best of it?
That is so cool. You know what? Our time is going, but I don't want to spend all the time just taking from you to the audience. I want us also to take your work to the audience. You are an author.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's talk about that. What did you write about and how can people get to that book? Because if you're talking like this without even opening your book yet, I wonder what it's going to be like, because that one, you wrote it in your quiet place. So a lot of wisdom and knowledge would have gone into it. So I want to give our audience the opportunity to get their hands on one of the copies. And mine, guys, by the way, I always get a copy of what I'm preaching. Mine is on the way, so go and get it. All right, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. Not to digress, but I really want people to get to know that your book is out there.
Yes, it is. So I have a book which is on change your mind and change your life. It's on mindset. I actually have 3 books out there. I have a workbook on career, a workbook on business development.
Wow.
My favorite one is the one on mindset, because I believe that is the foundation of everything. It's so great that I read it myself every day.
That's good to remind yourself, right?
It's always at hand. I mean, if you look at it, like I have it's earmarked. Like I have pages that I put on there, like, okay, let me come back to this page and read it. Or I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, show the cover, the page.
Okay, this is how it looks.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
That's how it looks. But even inside, it has sections where you can write.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like a little, like you read something and then it tells you to take notes and what you thought about what you read. So you can actually just put those notes in. So even me, I write my notes in there, but I write it in pencil.
No, that's a smart way too. So it keeps evolving. You can clean.
Yes, it keeps evolving.
I like that.
Yeah. So this book is really about very 21 little steps. It's a reflection of me. When I say it's a reflection of me, it's a very simple to read book, because me, I do not like to read where it is not ended. It's one of those things where very, very small nuggets and chapters, all the things I've spoken about today, law of attraction, visualization, environment, mindset, the renewal of your mind. All of those things are all of the nuggets that are in there. So there are 21. It talks about 21 different things that you can do. being proactive, self-talk, habits, preparing, growth, persistence, very little nuggets with real life stories of how people have overcome those barriers, how they've moved forward, and how anybody really can do it, So that's one of my favorite books.
Nice. Somebody already said love that. So go get a copy. And when you guys go out to get a copy, just make sure you're saying from the Queen Amina Show. So maybe you never know, she might give you some discount.
It's available on Amazon and worldwide. So it's whichever Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. It's available in some bookstores, even in Africa and Nigeria.
Nice. Okay. Okay, we have few people from Nigeria, so they can get it. Okay. That's awesome. And you have a social media page they can follow. On Instagram, you Olive something.
Olive Blue Ink. So OLIVEBLU, Olive and Blue, one word, Ink, INC. Olive Blue Ink on Instagram. And then if you just search my name on Facebook, Yvonne Akpoveta. If you search my name it's pretty unique name. So you will see my page come up,
Yes, I did.
There. And then even the same thing on Amazon. That's the good thing about the unique name. And that's why I kept my Rukia and my Akpoveta.
We need to keep it more than ever before. They're going back home that is ringing everywhere now. I have a lot of friends here that wants an African name now. Yeah, absolutely. They're like, oh, Queen, you gotta give me an African name. I'm going back to my root. I'm like, yay, thank God for COVID-19.
Oh, Lord.
Somehow, so thank you so much, Yvonne. It's been a very wonderful discussion, but again, we have few minutes and I'm going to squeeze every minute from you before I let you go, because I don't know when I'm going to see you again. So let us just finalize, because I know that the other question is it's going to take more than the time that we have. Mm-hmm. But what I want you to just do for us, like look into the camera with these people watching you. I need you to really speak to them about this change and to focus on the positive things, because personally, I know that it has brought so much new good things in my life because of the mindset. So I did not sit down to look at one day of this lockdown as a cause or depression or trouble. I looked at every single day as a brand new opportunity for me to learn something new, for me to do something new. And I keep speaking to my spirit that at the end of this, I don't want to come out looking the same way I started in this lockdown.
Yes.
This is what has helped me. I've gotten involved in things that ordinarily I keep telling people, I don't have the time. I'm traveling. I'm going to be here. I can't make it. Now I got into all of those things, all of them, and I am even researching more to get into.
You know why you were able to do that? You were prepared mentally, because you were already visionary. Yeah. You were already thinking about the things that you'd like to do and what you want to do, so that when this opportunity, I want to call it opportunity because to different people,
a lifetime, yes.
Yeah, but once this time came, you were able to look at it as an opportunity to do those things that you've always thought to do. So you'd already planted those seeds within yourself. If you've not planted any seed within yourself without any dreams or aspirations, or future thinking or forward thinking, when this time suddenly came up, all you wanted to do was just like, oh, I don't have anything to do. Well, let's do and go back to work. Or, there were all kinds of things. But what you had done, you'd already planted seeds on the inside of you. So now it was like, OMG, this is the time. So you saw this as an opportunity to, build upon it and water those seeds and bring things out of it. So it's, again, that's where mindset is really important, because it's what you've planted that you manifest. If you've not planted anything within your life, if you've not planted anything within your mind and your soul, you will have nothing that you need to manifest. That's why I always say, go to the beginning. Always start at the beginning. If I wanted to leave like a framework or steps for people to follow, I would start to say, now is the time to start to think and plant ideas in your mind. Open your mind and just think of, what can I do? Let your mind be like a soil, like a fertile soil, to say, what can I do? Start to rethink things in a different way. So rethink is the first thing. Start to think differently. Then reset yourself, reset your mind, your spirit, your soul, and say, you know, all things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. So reset yourself to start to receive, you know, and start to think about, how can I reposition myself? What happens before you take off? You know, you first of all ground yourself. Think about the plane that wants to take off. It grounds itself. It's slowly building up steam. Then it takes off. You have to reposition yourself to say, how do I take off and how do I go? You start to think, okay, what is the best way? Experiment. The first idea you come up with may not work, but that does not mean you should stop. You know, and now more than ever is the best time to experiment, because everybody's forgiven.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Everybody's like, oh, it's okay. You know, I mean, before, if you decided to go online at a time where people were experts and already going online, once you went online and you didn't get it perfect, people like, what's all this going on?
Yeah.
You know, we're all learning together. We're all trying things together. Now is the perfect opportunity to be able to do things that you always wanted to do or thought about doing and couldn't do, because people are just a little bit more lenient on you. So experiment, modify, be agile, come back again and start doing, but just start.
Okay. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Any question out there? If not, the ones that came in, I think we've walked through all of it. There's a very good one, and guess who this question came from?
Okay.
My youngest daughter.
Oh, okay.
When I was printing out the questions that came on my WhatsApp for the show today, and she went to pick it up. So, oh, mommy, can I ask her a question? She seems an interesting person. So I said, yeah, just add your question and reprint. So she said, are they set rules that we must follow, or do we adapt to the change as it comes? She is like, wow, I saw the question. I'm like, yes, I would ask that. Yeah.
You know what? Life is what we make of it. The people who do so well are the people who make their rules. As a city, as a country, we're governed by certain rules, no doubt about it.
That's right.
But when it comes to rules in life, there's principles that, you know, if you work hard, you're innovative, law of attraction, mindset, those are principles. Well, rules are there because they're also broken and they're reset and new rules are set. Because what this COVID has taught us is that rules can be changed, they can be amended, they can be adopted. Nothing is set in stone. But when it comes to the rules in life, you have to create the rules you want to live by. If Steve Jobs had decided to go by the rules, would he have been successful? When Apple was launched, it was during a recession. I remember being the one that said, who is going to go and buy smartphone for how many $100 when we're going through a recession? Look at them.
Everything we're using now. I can't do without.
If Oprah had said that, oh, the rules say that, you know, a Black person cannot have their own show, Oprah would not be the magnet.
That's right.
Now, if Mark Zuckerberg has said that there's nothing like Facebook, people don't socialize in this way, there'll be nothing like Facebook. You know, so sometimes in life it's about creating the rules. I'm one of those people that tell you 5 steps how to do this, but also be willing to create your own 5 steps on how to do your own thing and make the best of life. Be your own 5 steps, you know, to do that.
So set your own rules that you abide by. And become creative around the things that you're doing. And I think that is a beautiful way to look at it, because it then makes it easier for you to follow also, because you came up with the rules. Nobody set it for you. So you said it would be easier for you to follow, and it would make life a whole lot easier for you. Thank you so much.
And I want to preface that with saying the difference between rules and principles. I'm not saying principles always will be there.
That's true. That's true. That is so. I never thought about it that way.
Yes, there are principles in life that you have to follow no matter what age old. The sun rises and sets.
And sets.
There are certain things that in life, there are government rules. You can't go out there and say it's my rule and I want to kill somebody today just because I feel like,
Oh.
I mean, that's an extreme example.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good to throw it out there.
Yeah, it's my rule. So I'm going to go and drive at certain speeds. No, there are certain things that are law and principles in life. We're talking about the rules of life. What rules do you set to live by?
Okay, so FA and anybody that has that kind of questions out there, yes, there are no set rules to get to your destination, but there are certain principles that you have to follow. And one of those principles that I would just throw in is get up early, go to bed early. That is my advice, because I've noticed when you stay up late, you're as good as useless. You're doing a lot, but you're doing so little at the same time.
So more like well-being, whatever you choose your well-being to be. Like if you cannot function well mentally,
get your rest. Yeah, get your rest. That's one rule you should look at very quickly. Make sure you're getting your rest in between, because this morning. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the Queen Amina show today, and thank you, our super guest. Please follow her on Instagram. See, some few people are giving testimonies of why they are following her, and they followed her to the Queen Amina show. So go check out her page on Instagram at Olive Blue Inc. So it's Olive Blue, one word, Inc. And on Facebook, she is super easy to find, Yvonne Ruke Akpoveta. I'll spell that out for you guys. YVONNE RUKE AKPOVETA. Make sure you are following her. These kinds of people are not easy to access. So use social media and harass them if you have to, in a good way. In a good way. Ask great questions. They will respond to you. Pick up their books. One thing I tell people all the time is that slogan. I call it a slogan because it has become a slogan in many people's ears. If you want to be a millionaire, think like a millionaire. No, I say if you want to be a millionaire, do what the millionaire did. You will get there. So she wrote already a book of how she is doing her stuff. Go pick up that book. What was the book called again?
The Change You Want, Change Your Mindset and Change.
Yeah, that particular one. So the Change You Want, go pick it up. And if you pick it up, here is the kicker. We did that last month and it was super cool. If you pick up your book, take a picture with it, post it on her social media, tag me on it, and somebody is going to win a gift certificate. Let's do that for the month of July and promote her. We need to promote each other, and me, I'm big on that now. Call me whatever you call me. I'm going to black business. I'm sorry. So I'm supporting our people, especially women. Nothing against the men out there, but we need to build each other up. We need to support each other. You know what? I take the first word back. Whether it's blue, black, yellow, white, green, Chinese, Asian, let us support each other and build a more positive and loving community. I believe it's the only way that hate is going to be eradicated. If we begin to support each other, we begin to see each other as, this person is great, let me add value to this person's life, rather than I am great, I want to add value to myself. When life becomes me, myself, and I, there's trouble. Because when you see any other person, that person becomes a competition right off the word go. Even without knowing what they're doing, you look at the person as a competition. Stop it. Go out, pick up Yvonne's book and tag me with it. Thank you so much for your time today. The Lord God Almighty bless you, and may He continue to give you great wisdom, that you will write books that will leave legacies with plural, on earth, that your children's children yet unborn will see that great grandma did this. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome. Take care. Bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast today. I'm super excited. Tomorrow we are going to be learning how to build wealth. Whatever you do tomorrow, please make it a date on the Queen Amina Show. Don't be left out. Dr. Breakthrough breaks through barriers of poverty. Trust me. I've spoken with this guy. I've seen his work. Don't do anything tomorrow without connecting to the Queen Amina Show. I invite you to join in the conversation with Dr. Breakthrough tomorrow. He co-authored a book with Les Brown. He's a millionaire. He's going to teach you how to become one. So join us tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, keep loving the Lord and loving the Queen and watching the Queen Amina Show. Bye.